Give
This
us the
conference
page
will
again.
now be recorded.
Yes, so we're on Chaf Bet Amud Bet 22b, and the line begins about 2/5 of the way down, a little above halfway down. The line begins Teku with a Gimel Teku, and then we begin now Boi Rav Ashi, a little higher than that, about midway through the middle lines, a little past midway through the middle lines. Teku Boi Rav Ashi. Rav Ashi asked, Nazir Sha'amar. A Nazir who said, Shavua shelo ochel chartzan. He said, I'm not going to eat. The chartzan is the grape seed. Now, that's not so edible. A Nazir is not allowed to eat any grape products. Grape products. But he made a shvu, I'm not going to eat chartzan. Bikama. So how much do we say now becomes, if he eats X amount, that would be a breach of his oath, of his Shavua. The Kavan the Kazayit Isur Da'oraisahu. Do we say one way of looking at it is, well, if he's going to eat a Kazayit, that's already the Isur Da'oraita. That's the Torah prohibition of a Nazir not eating any grape products. Isur Da'oraitahu, that's the Torah prohibition. And therefore, Ki Kamishtaba, Ahatera Kamishtaba. But so when he took his oath, clearly what did he have in mind? That which I am allowed to eat, I'm now prohibiting based on my Shavua. V'daite, and his intent is on Mashahu, and his intent is on the smallest amount. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Scott.
Good
Good to
morning.
see all you guys. Hope everyone had a good week. Right. So once again, we doubled back to get to the point where I was told we left off last time because it's really in midstream. So a little bit above the midway point. Rav Ashi asked, a Nazirite who's not allowed to eat any grape products, who swore that I'm not going to eat grape seed. So Rav Ashi's question was, how much does he have in mind? Do we say, well, a kazayit, an olive side, a kazayit size amount that the Torah is already prohibited to him, based on his being Nazir, and therefore he must be daite kikamishtaba ahateir kamishtaba. When he swears, he's swearing on that which was allowed, and therefore his date, his intent is even on the smallest amount. Oh, Dilma, or perhaps no. Kavan to Amar Shalo Ochel, he said, I'm not going to eat. What's considered Torah eating? Torah eating is a kazayit. Date is dat. His intent was on a kazayit. Toshma, come in here. Shavua shelo ochel. I swear I'm not going to eat. V'achal nevelot. And then he went ahead and he ate nevelot. A nevela is an animal that died not through a kosher, that wasn't shechted. He ate a carcass. Utreifot, or an animal that was treif, taruf, right, not shechted properly. Shkatzim, v'ramashim, or he ate different. Oh, so shkatzim means creepies, ramashim means crawlies. But that's not really true, right? Shkatzim and ramashim means, right, the term we use for all these different types of insects. Chayav. He will be liable. Now, right now, we're bringing a parable over here. We'll soon see, right? A nevela to me is like grapeseed to a nazir, because it's something that the Torah, thank you, Shmuel, for taking care of that the Torah already prohibits. Yet we say, chayav. For Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Shimon says, no, you'll be potter in such a case. Vavinan ba, and we look into this. Amai chayav. Why would the Chachamim say that the person will be liable for breaking his Shavua when he swore, I'm not going to eat a nevela, and he eats a nevela? Mushba ba'ome mehar Sinaihu. He already swore on Har Sinai that he's not going to eat that. On Mount Sinai, he already swore he's not going to eat that. And we know we have a general rule, Ein Shavua Chalal Shavua. If I swear I'm not going to drink this, I swear I'm not going to drink this, and I drink it, so I'm liable once for breaking my first Shavua. The second Shavua, when I drink it, I'm not breaching my second oath because I already Ein Shvua Chalal Shvua. I already swore I'm not going, so it's already usher to me. Well, Nevelos, Trefos, he already swore on Mount Sinai. So why should his Shvua take effect? So two approaches. Rav, Vishmuel, Rabbi Yochanan, those three, that trio say, the Amri, they say, B'cholel dvarim hamutarim in dvarim ha'asurim. Over here, what did he do? When he swore I'm not going to eat. And he swore I'm not going to eat, right, Glatt kosher empire chickens, nor am I going to eat Trefos and Frank Perdue chickens. And therefore, when he's kolel, when he includes dvarim mutarim, things that are permitted with things that are prohibited, there the shavua will take effect, not just on because it was one shavua. So once it's going to take effect on the empire chickens, it's also going to take effect on the Nevelo, Trefo, Shkachiv, Ramashim, on the Frank Perdue chickens.
So once the person makes the shvua and eats the empire chicken, he can go eat all the other. You can eat the pig, and it's only one avera. The rest of his life? When we
No. Well, look, we're not saying that it becomes mutter. We're saying that he won't be liable for breaking his shvua. He'll be liable, like all of us, for eating pig or
so that's a separate.
Correct.
But I thought we only get one punishment.
So if he lashes, he'll get one set of lashes, but that doesn't mean that he's not breaking other, right?
But there's no. It's like it's a freebie.
What do you mean it's a freebie?
He could go have a bacon cheeseburger. It's not going to make any difference at that point because he's getting the one set of lashes.
In one helam, in one right.
This has to be one sitting.
Well, if for every time that he's warned, he'll be liable for breaking his shvua again, or for breaking his, or for eating treif again.
So right? he could get lashes for breaking one shvua 10 times.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That we had that Mishnah in Makkas. A person's a nazir, and they told him don't drink wine. And he drinks wine. He's chayiv once. They told him al tishta, don't drink, and he drinks. Don't drink, and he drinks. Don't drink, and he drinks. He's liable for each time that he breaks it. So again, why does the shvua take effect? Because he already swore on Mount Sinai he wasn't going to eat that. So therefore, why does the shvua now, this oath now that he's not going to take effect? So Rav, Shmuel, Rav Yochanan say, we're talking about a case where he was kolel, where he included empire chickens along with the Frank Perdue Perdue chickens, and therefore, since it takes effect on the empire chickens, it also takes effect on the Perdue chickens. Reish Lakish Amar. Reish Lakish says no. Iatamot say ela I b'mefaresh chatzi shir v'aliba d'Rabbanan. It would only take effect if he specifies chatzi shir, right? I swear I'm not going to eat less than a kazayit, or he swore I'm not going to eat not even a single morsel of a Perdue chicken. Oh, why is that okay? Right? Because over there, right? So the Torah that you didn't swear about on Mount Sinai, on Har Sinai, and therefore the Shvuah takes effect now on this, right? Ela ibn farsh chati shivli rabbanan ibistam valiba de Rabbi Akiva. According to Rabbi Akiva, right? As soon as you make a Shavua, they're not going to eat. It means, right? That was the mission we had. You're chayiv on a kol shu, on the smallest amount. So, according to Rabbi Akiva, even without specifying a morsel, your Shavua automatically takes effect on even a morsel, and therefore that is going beyond our original oath that we all made on Har Sinai, and that's why it takes effect. The Amar, Okar Akiva, who said, Adam osa atzav kol shehu, that a person asers himself, prohibits himself when he takes a shvua, even on the smallest amount, and the Torah, the Har Sinai, was only on a kazayit. And here and now we're bringing it home. V'ha nevela, to mushmal Har Sinai, who dichicharts on the gabi nazir damya. So a nevela to me or you that we swore about on Mount Sinai is similar to the grape seed who swore to the guy who swore to become a Nazir. Meaning, when it comes to us in nevela, we swore already. When it comes to the grape seed and the Nazir, he swore already when he assumed the status of a Nazir. The time of the parish. And the only reason he'll be liable for the smallest amount is, according to Rabbanan, if he specified. Ha lo parish, if he didn't specify, we don't say date ahetera. We don't say his intent was on the permitted amount, but we say date akazayit. Shema mina. We hear from this. That's a good proof. So the question was, do we say a person's dot is ahatera, is on that which was permitted to me, which is permitted to me? Or do we say no, his dot is on a kazayit? We see from here, his dot is on a kazayit. The Gemara says, where you gentlemen left off yesterday, Ella tifsho de boy rava. If that's the case, we could use this also to answer Rava's question that we had about a daf ago, an amud ago. The boy Rava asked, Shavua shelo ochel afar. I swear I'm not going to eat afar. I'm not going to eat dirt, earth. Vikama. How much is he liable for? Is he, right? He said, I'm not going to eat. Now, eating is normally a kazayit, right? But so do we say that his intent is on a kazayit, or do we say his intent is on even the smallest amount? Tivshot, we can resolve on this the ika kazayit. That'll only be liable if he eats actually a kazayit worth of the earth. Why? Da nevela ka'afar damya, because nevela is as inedible. The Gemara assumes at this point that a nevela, this unkosher, this carcass of an animal, this roadkill, is as inedible ka'afar damya, like earth, like eating gravel. Damya, it's compared. The time of the parish, and he'll only be liable for the smallest amount for a morsel if he specified a morsel. Halo parish, but if he doesn't, daite kazayit. We see his dot is on a kazayit, because right now the Gemara, in bringing this proof, is assuming that this is the same way that a Purdue chicken is inedible, roadkill is inedible, so too this is inedible. The Gemara says, no. Afar lav barachilahu klal. Afar, earth, is something that's not eaten. It's not edible at all by anyone. Right? You go into the grocery store, you'll see Empire chickens, hopefully, and you'll also see Purdue chickens. Right? You're not going to see earth for, chewing earth. Right? So, no, afar is lav barachilahu klal. Nevela batachila. The nevela, the Purdue chickens, that's certainly something that could be eaten. Va'aryeh hu de revia iluva. But what? There is a lion crouching above it, meaning the warning of God, thou shalt not eat, that's like a lion that's on it. So therefore, even though by here we say achila means a kazayid, because that is, right, unless specified otherwise, eating means a kazayid because it is food. but you can't extrapolate from there to earth, which is not food at all. And therefore, over there, if a person swore that I'm not, so even though when a person swore I'm not going to eat an nevela, he's only liable if unless he specifies, he's only liable for a kazayit. By earth, he might be liable for less, because kazayit is related to food, right? And an nevela is food. There's a lion crouching above it saying, roar, don't eat it, right? But it is food. And therefore, if over there we say that the shear is a kazayit, we cannot extrapolate to something that's not food, earth, afar, gravel, and say there too, it is a kazayit. New Mishnah. Shavua shelo ochel. I swear I'm not going to eat. And then what does the guy do? V'achal v'shata. He ate and he drank. Eino chayav ella achat. He'll only be liable once, right? So he's about to sit down to a meal. We say, hey, you swore you're not going to eat, right? So you better not eat or drink. And he eats and drinks. That's considered one breach of his Shavua.
Is eating drinking? Is drinking eating?
So it seems that drinking is considered, right? Eating is, right, when he swore that he's not going to eat, that meant I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink. We'll see. We'll work through further, right? So therefore, since this is all, Rashi says, behelam echad. So this is talking about over here, helam echad, unawareness. So we're talking about how many karbanot, how many sacrifices must he bring, how many karban olaviyorades, how many of these fluctuating level sacrifices must he bring for his breach? One. Shvur shelo ochel v'shelo eshte. I swear I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink. Oh, that's considered now to be two different shvuot, two different oaths. V'achal v'shata, and he broke the first one by eating. V'shata, and he broke the second one when he drank. Chayev shtayim. So there he'll need to bring two sacrifices. Shvua shelo ochel. I swear I'm not going to eat. Va'achal, and then he went ahead and ate pat chitin, some wheat bread, pat sa'orin, some barley bread, upat kusmin, and some spelt bread, right? Breads made from three different grains. Eino chayev ela achat. He's only being liable once. He said he's not going to eat. And then he ate. In that one bout of unawareness, he ate. So it'll be chayev once, even though he had.
Rabbi,
Yes,
quick question. What happens
Sure.
if he does make he swears he's not going to eat, and at the end of the day he's really, really thirsty, hungry, and it seems like he's borderline and he has to eat. Not unlike Yom Kippur, this is an oath. How does he get grounded if he does take water or he does eat before the day's end?
Right? Remember, our Mishnah is talking about behelam in a state of unawareness and liability for a korban. But if a person did make an oath and feels they can't maintain it, he better go to gather three people as a beit din and do hatarat nidarim and do an annulment of his vow. That's what he can do, or tough it out until the period that he set for himself.
Why does this not, when you say and, when you usually say and, it means that you have to have those two conditions together.
Meaning what?
If I said I was not going to eat and drink, mean I would have to eat and drink instead of saying or.
No, I swear I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink, right? So the Gemara will actually discuss all the different ways of understanding this, okay? And why we understand it the way. Right now, the understanding is that I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink. Even without having to say, I swear I'm not going to eat. I swear I'm not going to drink. Right? But
But how would
nevertheless,
you say it then if you wanted to include?
I swear I'm not going
If I
to
said I'm not,
both eat and drink. I'm not going to eat and drink together. Right? So then that oath would only be restricting me from eating and drinking together. But I could first have some food, finish that up, have some drink, have some food, right? If I split it up, right, it would have to say together. Okay, again, so I swear I'm not going to eat, and then he ate these 3 different loaves of bread of different grains. It's all one eating. I swear I'm not going to eat, right, wheat bread and barley bread and spelt bread, right? Va'achal, and he did eat. Chayav v'kolachat va'achal, to be chayav for each and every one. The Gemara is going to work through Ray's question. Well, maybe he only said he's not going to eat a bread that's comprised of a tri-grain bread. Maybe that's what he was answering. But as long as he eats a single grain bread, right? Any one of those 3, or each of those 3, but as a single grain entity, that'll be fine. That we'll have to see in the Gemara. Shavua shelo eshte. I swear I'm not going to drink. V'shata mashkin harbe, and he drank many drinks. Ein chayiv ela achat. He's only chayiv once for that drinking. Shvur shelo eshte yayin v'shemen v'dvash. I swear I'm not going to drink wine and honey and oil and dvash. Since when is shemen drinkable? Vishata, and he did drink. Chayav kol achat ba'achat. Then he drank all 3. He'll be liable for each of those 3. Again, the Gemara is going to work all these through. Shvur shelo ochel. I swear I'm not going to eat. Va'achal ochlin she'enam ru'yin la'achila. And then he ate foods that are not ru'yin la'achila, right? That are not edible. V'shata mashkin, and he drank drinks she'enan ru'yin l'shtia, which are not drinkable. Now again, Shem, I'll have to see. When I paired up ahead, I didn't go so far. But right, shemen, it would seem, should be in this category. Right? You don't drink oil. Patur. Right? Then you are patur. Shavua shelo ochel va'achal nevelot utrefot shkotzim v'ramashim. This is what the Gemara quoted up above. I swear I'm not going to eat, and then he ate the nevelot, the carcass, the treif animal, shkotzim v'ramashim, the insects. Chayev, for that he'll be chayev. Rabbi Shimon poter. Rabbi Shimon says, no, you will be pater. Or Shimon, we understand, you already swore on Mount Sinai, so therefore, Mushma v'omer har Sinai, therefore the shvur will not take effect. The Chachamim, why did they say chayev? So we had up above, either kolel, he included Empire chickens along with his Purdue chickens, or where he specified half a shear, less than a kazayit, according to Rabbanon, or according, oh, how are you? I missed you this week. So good to see. What a beautiful hat you're wearing. Oh, it's for the bunny. Great. Right? Or Rabbi Shimon said, right? Or Reish Lakish said, yeah, that we specify. Amar, he said, Konaim ishti nenitli imachalti hayom. Right? My wife will not get any benefit from me if I ate at all today. Right? The guy's on a diet, and everyone's accusing him of having broken his diet. So he says, oh, right, my wife can't get any benefit from me if I ate today. And he ate. What did he eat? Nevelot, treifot, shkotzim, mashim. He ate things that were prohibited, right? The carcass, etc., etc. Hare ishto asura, right? His wife will be asura, because that's considered to be eating, right? That's how we ended off the Gemara right above this Mishnah. Whereas earth is not food. This is food, but there is this lion crouching above it. So it's not right. Before we were arguing it, right? He already swore Mount Sinai he wouldn't eat it. But here, the issue is not that he swore he wasn't going to eat it. He swore that if I ate, my wife would become usher to me. Well, he ate. Whether it was Purdue or Empire, that's considered to be eating, and therefore his wife will be asura to him, even according to Rabbi Shimon, because here it's not an issue of swore already at Mount Sinai. The Gemara begins. Amar Rabbi Chia bar Abin Amar Shmuel. Shavua. So Rabbi Chia bar Abin said the name of Shmuel. Shavua shelo ochel. I swear I'm not going to eat. Vishata. And then what did he do? He drank. Chayav. He'll be liable for that. Ibayit ema svara, ibayit ema kra. If you want, I could tell you it's based on svara. I could logically argue the point. Or if you want, I could show you a kra, a reading, a pasuk. Ibayis ema svara. If you want, I can tell you the svara. The amalei inish lechavre nitom midi. Someone says to his friend, "Hey, come over, eat something by me." Va'aili, and he'll come. Va'achli v'shate. And what does he do? He eats and he drinks. Now we know that when it comes to a neder, when it comes to a Shavua, right? So we follow lashon b'nei adam. Right? It includes what a person meant. So what a person means when I say, hey, I want you to come eat, right? Come eat by me, right? The understanding is that you're going to also drink, right? When a person, you invite someone for dinner, I'd like you to come eat, I want to eat dinner by me tonight, right? If the guy starts to pour some soda or some water, say, hey, I invited you to eat, not to drink. What do you think you're doing over here? Right?
But if you just gave him a drink, if you just gave him a drink, though, you wouldn't consider that eating. You say they're you can.
Well, we're going to prove it also. Okay? So eating includes eating and drinking. So if I swore I'm not going to eat, that would include I'm not going to eat, nor am I going to drink. If you want, I could show you a scriptural proof that shtia, drinking, is bichlal, is included in achila, in eating. The Reish Lakish, as Reish Lakish said, minayin l'shtia, shehi bichlal achila. From where do we see that drinking is included in eating? Shenemar v'achalt v'nei Hashem elokecha. You'll eat before Hashem, your God, b'makom asher yivchar, in the place that He will choose, l'shachein shemo sham, to have His name dwell there, His presence will dwell there. Ma'asar, the gancha. This talking about Ma'asar Sheni, which we know that needs to be brought to Jerusalem and eaten there. And you'll eat before Hashem, your God, in the place that He will choose to have His name dwell, in Yerushalayim, in other words. You'll eat the maser of the gancha, of your produce, the tiroshcha, and of your wine. Now, the tirosh, the top of Chav Gimel and Aleph, the tirosh chamrahu. Tirosh is wine. Uchtiv. So it says you'll eat there the grain and the wine. So what do you see? Uchtiv v'achalta, and it said you'll eat there. Therefore, we see that eating includes drinking. The Gemara says, "V'dilma al yedei anigron." Maybe you're going to be eating that wine al yedei anigron. Anigron is a type of food that you add in wine, right? So it's like a porridge. It's like a hot cereal, right? And therefore wine is added in. Dama Rava Bar Shmuel explained, Anigron is Maya silke. A nigron is a certain dish that they would make, which was maya, water of silky of beet, probably like a borscht, right? And with serious beets in there, and wine was added in. Achsigron, right? If you're ordering achsigron on the menu, know what you're going to be getting. Achsigron is mayadakulu shilki. It's all these different types of vegetables, and wine is added in to this stew, or this compote, right? So therefore, that's not really a good proof that wine, um, that drinking is included in eating. When it mentioned wine, maybe it meant wine that's added onto these different stews. Ella, rather, a different proof, a different pasuk verse that shows that drinking is included in eating. Ella, rather, Amr Rav Acha bar Yaakov Mehacha. From here, Rav Acha bar Yaakov says it can be shown. But Atata Kesef, you'll give the money. V'chol asher tava nafshecha. Right. This is talking about when you are going to be redeeming, instead of bringing the Maaser Sheni, the second tithe, to Jerusalem, and the food stuff is eaten there, you could deconsecrate that produce onto coins, onto money. Now the money has the kedusha of Maaser Sheni, the holiness of Maaser Sheni. That needs to be brought to Yerushalayim. And then v'natata kesef, then you can give the money right, for all that you want, bakar, batzon, cattle, flock, yayin, sheichar, right, for wine, uvesheichar, and we'll soon see intoxicating, right? And once again, yayin, yayin, chamrahu, wine is, yayin is chamra's wine, uchtiv, and it says there, v'achalt, and you'll eat it before Hashem your God. The Gemara says, maybe, once again, the wine that we're talking about over here that you'll be eating is when you add it to your anigron or to your achsigron. Sheichar, ksiv. No, but it says sheichar, which means intoxicating beverages. Right? So that's a liquid, and that's not added. You don't pour your scotch into your anigron or your achsigron. Midi, right? Right? The Gemara says no. Midi demishacher. Maybe. So the Gemara answers no. Sheichar ksiv midi demishacher. Something. So that is coming to qualify the wine when it is in an intoxicating manner. Now, wine is intoxicating not when you add it into your achsigron or anigron, but rather when you drink it. The Gemara says, maybe the sheichar is not coming to qualify the wine. It's a different entity. It's something else that will be intoxicating. The Tanya, maybe it's devela. It's these pressed figs that come from ki'ilit, and it seems that they then start to ferment and turn into something that is intoxicating. The Tanya is learned in the Braita. Achal devela ki'ilit. If a person ate devela ki'ilit, vishata and drank dvash v'chalav, v'nichnas lemikdash, drank dvash, honey, v'chalav, and milk, v'nichnas lemikdash, entered the Beit HaMikdash, v'avad, right, and he did the avoda, chayav, for that he will be liable, because these things are also things that will be intoxicating. Right? So therefore,
Rabbi,
once again, yes.
do they have a measure for intoxication like 0.18 or 0.8? Do they have a measure? How many kazayas would they permit?
Yes. So right, they weren't able to measure alcohol blood level, right? But so therefore, the amount that we gave, I believe, was an amount of drinking. Even though different people might be able to hold it better than others, I certainly cannot hold anything, right? But I think it would be a revi'it, right, which is about 4 to 5 ounces, let's say.
That's why we don't have 4 cups.
Yeah. Ella, so therefore again, sheikhar, so we don't know. Yayin v'sheikhar, when it says eating, yayin could be wine that's added to my anigron and my achsigron, and the sheikhar can mean other foods that are intoxicating. Ella, rather, how do we know that it means wine, drinking wine there, and yet it's called eating? Gamar sheikhar me nazir. We learn out a Gezerah Shava of Sheikhar, it says Sheikhar over here by the Maser Sheni, and it also says Sheikhar by the Nazir. Malahalan Yayin, over there when it says wine, it means wine. Afkan Yayin, right? So to over here, it means wine, and yet we called it eating. So we see from a pasuk that eating is considered to be, that drinking is part and parcel of eating, and therefore going back to Shmuel's original statement, the person swears, I'm not going to eat, and then the person drinks, the person has broken his Shavua. Amar Rava says, Afananami Tanina. Oh, well, we even learned it in our Mishnah. We have a Mishnah proof to it. Our Mishnah. Shavua shelo ochel. A person swore, I'm not going to eat. Va'achal vishata. Eino chayiv ela achat. And then he ate and he drank. He's only going to be liable once. If you want to say that drinking is included in eating, right? If we'll say that when he swore, I'm not going to eat, that means I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink, then the Tana needed to tell me that in a case where he ate and drank, he's only liable once. Ella, but if you want to say that drinking is not included in eating, Shvua shelo ochel va'achal va'asa malacha mi itzrich lashmin edein chayiv el achat. Would the Mishnah tell me if I swear I'm not going to eat, and then he ate, and then he went bowling, or in the case of the Gemara, and then he went to work, he's only liable once? There's no point in telling me that, of course, right? He didn't include bowling or going to work in his Shavua. So if the Mishnah told me when he said, I'm not going to eat, and he ate and drank, nevertheless, he's only chayav once, it must be that drinking is included in eating. Amalei Abaye says back to him, well, not so fast. Not so fast, Rava. Elamai. So what do you want to do? So what are you proposing, Rava? Mai, what do you want to say? Shtia bichlal achila. You want to say that drinking is included in eating? Ema seifa. Well, let's go to the end of that very same Mishnah that you brought your proof from. Shvua shelo ochel v'shelo eshte. I swear I'm not going to eat, and I swear I'm not going to drink. V'achol v'shat, and he ate and he drank. Chayiv shtayim. The Mishnah said he's liable twice. But 1 second, Abaye says so beautifully. Came to Amar Shelo Ochel, according to you, when he said, I'm not going. When he said, I'm not going to eat, Itzolei b'shtia. What became usher to him? Both eating and drinking. Ki Amar Shelo Eshte. So when he then said, I'm not going to drink, Amai Chayiv. Why should he be liable for that? Ilu Amar Shelo Eshte Trei Zinim Chayiv Tarti. If he swear, I swear I'm not going to drink. I swear I'm not going to drink. And he drank. Would he be liable twice? No, of course not. So over here also, according to you, Rava, when he said I'm not going to eat, it meant I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink. So now when he said I'm not going to drink, He already swore about that. So why should he be liable twice? Rava says, good point about it. Well, Amar Lei, he said back to him, Hasam de Amar Shalo Eshte, V'hada Amar Shalo Ochel. What's the case over there? Not that he first said, I'm not going to eat, and then said, I'm not going to drink. No, he first said, I'm not going to drink. And then he said, Shalo Ochel. Right? And then he said, I'm not going to eat. Right? And then he ate and drank, so that he'll be liable twice. He'll be breaking his first Shavua, which was not made. Right? He'll be breaching his first Shavua of not drinking, and then the second Shavua of not eating. Right? Because even though we're saying that eating, I'm not going to eat includes drinking, but if I say I'm not going to drink, no one says that includes eating. Gemara says, 1 second. Aval Amar, so you're saying that he's only liable twice if he reversed the order. If he first said, I'm not going to drink, and then I'm not going to eat. Aval Amar, but if the order was first, I'm not going to eat, and then I'm not going to drink, and then he ate and he drank, you're telling me, what will you say to me? You're only liable once? If that's the case, well, the next case, the Mishnah was trying to show me a case where he only is liable once. Adatani Reisha. So the Reisha should not have said Shmur Shlo Ochel, and instead of starting off and saying, if I swear I'm not going to eat, and then he ate and he drank, he's only liable once. Listening, show me a greater case, a greater chidush. Listening, tell me Shmur Shlo Ochel v'Shlo Eshte. If I swear I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink, and he ate and drank, he's only liable once. They certainly only said I'm not going to eat, and he did both. He's only liable once. Ella rather la'olam kiriktani, like we said initially. The case is where he said I'm not going to eat. I swear I'm not going to eat. Swear I'm not going to drink. He ate and he drank. He's liable twice. Why? Abaye said, right? If eating if I'm not going to eat includes I'm not going to drink, then the second Shavua, the second oath, I'm not going to drink, should not go into effect at all, because I already swore about that. Shani Hacha. It's different over here. Normally, I'm not going to eat means I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink. But Kavan the Amar Shlo Ochel here, since he said I'm not going to eat, V'hada Amar, and he immediately said afterwards, Shalo Eshte, and I'm not going to drink. Gali Adate, that he's revealed to us his dat, his thinking. Dahach Achila the Amar, that when I said I'm not going to eat, that Dahach, that quote Achila end quote, the Amar that he said, Achila Grey Dasa, that was just eating, right? But if you don't say I'm not going to drink afterwards, then I'm not going to eat includes eating and drinking. And then if he either eats or drinks or eats and drinks, he will be liable. But that's Shmuel's din before. I said I'm not going to eat and he drank, he is liable. Amar Rav Ashi says Masnisan Nami Deka. And the Mishnah also, it is also indicative of this. Interesting. Deka, indicate, dictate, right? Very similar root. Shmur Shelo Ochel. The Mishnah said, if I swear I'm not going to eat, and he ate ochlin she'einu ochlin la'achila, and then he ate foods that are not edible. V'shata mashkin she'en ruyin l'shtiya, and he drank in undrinkable drinks, inedible eats, or undrinkable drinks, patur. He'll be patur, the Mishnah said. But, ru'uyin, if they were edible foods or drinkable drinks, chayav, he'd be liable. V'amai, why? Hashrush lo'ochel ka'amar. Right? The case was, I swear I'm not going to eat. And then we said if he ate unedible foods or drank unedible drinks, he's patur. Implying when he said I'm not going to eat, if he ate edible foods or drank drinkable drinks, he'd be liable. The Gemara says, no. Dilma, the Amar Tarti, no, maybe that case is talking about where he actually said, I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink. The Mishnah didn't need to spell it out. Right? The Mishnah over here wanted to let us know this din of inedible stuff is not considered part of his Shavua and he'll be pater. Right? But the Mishnah didn't need to go in, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to drink. But maybe he's talking about a case where he said, I'm not going to eat and I'm not going to drink.
I mean,
Anything,
water.
Yeah, that's true. He could do. Right? We're saying if he drank anything that's drinkable,
Okay.
water is drinkable. I could attest to that. Okay, gentlemen. Good seeing everybody. A good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Welcome back.
Scott, can I give you a
Good
call?
Shabbos, everyone.
Yeah, good Shabbos.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Good Shabbos. Thanks.
So he's only gonna. How long is gonna be off of water then?